eating salt and vinegar pork rinds
Fun.
for our
I
ASMR viewers.
I had a lean cuisine because I wanted to make pasta, but the pot I wanted to use was dirty, and so I just went, I'm just gonna put a lean cuisine in the microwave.
So, my best friend had her gender reveal party today.
Ooh, how'd that go?
She's not having what I wanted her to have.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I mean, like fingers crossed that it's wrong.
Yeah, she's 13 weeks. So they did it by a blood test.
Okay.
Those are only 98% accurate. So I'm like,
Only that's barely any percent.
yeah. So I'm hoping it's wrong.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely possible. Plus, I mean, could luck out in
I'm
the
hoping
baby.
it's a transgendered baby.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, you could just get a trans baby, and that's
Yeah, I was like, don't be too discouraged. Like, I think everyone was wanting it to be a girl. I was like, don't be too discouraged because we live in 2021. It doesn't have to be a boy if it doesn't want to be a boy.
yeah.
There's no guarantee here. So
Like everybody's fingers crossed. Every every event, it's going to be like, you guys, stop getting Barbies. We have too many.
no, really, I'm happy for her, no matter what it is.
Yeah.
Even if it's not a girl.
That's the worst.
She already has a little boy, and he is all boy. So I was hoping she'd get to have a girl this time.
Yeah. I don't have any small children in my life. Like, there's nobody close that has kids.
Girl, I can send you one.
Honestly, that would be phenomenal because the amount of times that I want to do kid related things because that's what I like to do. And it's like, there really should be a child here for this is astounding. Like, I remember, so the Museum of Science and Industry has this like really cool water area and it's for children. But it's basically just like gears and levers and it's got running water and you just get to like do all these things with gears and levers and running water. So when I was 14, I remember going with one of my girlfriends to that museum. We really wanted to go in there and they're like, you can't go in there without a kid. And we're like, but we want to go in there. Like, why do you have to be a child to like play in the water area? That's not fair. And he like would not let us in. So like we're like trying everything. We're like crawling up like on our knees, like, you know, we're like, we're just 7 years old. We tried like we're like trying to get in with other families. Like eventually they did let us in, but I was like, come on, like we're not like full grown adults. We're still children. We're just like teenagers. We just want to play in the water. Just let us play. But yeah, like the museums, the zoo. There's a science museum specifically for kids in my town, and I want to see what it's all about. And I can't because it's legit made for kids. Whereas like the Museum of Science and Industry in Chicago is like for everyone, but this one's literally like, this is a children's science museum. And I'm like, yeah, probably should have a kid to go on in there.
Well, maybe I'll come up sometime and bring my kid.
There you go.
And we'll just go do all the kid stuff.
Yeah, like, my God. I'm still sick. I've been sick for this whole week. Fucking miserable. I don't know how to be sick. Like, I don't have time for it. I don't want it. And it's been different because I got a cold and like I've done nothing different except for I didn't wear my mask in Kohl's, but I have a hard time believing that I got a cold because I didn't wear a mask in Kohl's.
I mean, it is like Kohl's. It's close to Kohl's.
I know. I know, but like it's Kohl's. It's not like I went to Walmart. So, but I saw the sign. They were like, if you're vaccinated, you can choose if you want to. And I was like, I am vaccinated. I'm gonna cough real quick. I know, it's super sexy.
Mm-hmm.
But I have like a sore throat, and I've never had a sore throat before with a cold. Like, it's just not a symptom that I normally get. And then it's just progressively, like the whole week has just been miserable. And then I found out like the night I got like one of those dual packs of like meds. The nighttime one is like, hey, if you have a runny nose and sneezing and coughing, take me. But it's the nighttime one. And I was like, but I also have those symptoms during the day. And it's like, no, during the day, you only have chest congestion and face congestion and
Right.
sinus pressure. And I'm like, but I'm also sneezing and can't stop blowing my nose. Like, so I'm taking the nighttime one during the day and just like, please don't fall asleep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, you would have
absolutely miserable.
appreciated the gender reveal party because they did not use like tannerite or
Oh, thank
extra
God.
explosions. They just
Was
had a
it cake?
balloon with confetti
Okay.
in it. They popped the balloon and the color of confetti came out.
You know what? I'm fine with that because I like the balloons as long as they're not like releasing them into the universe.
No, it was inside. It was indoors too.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
It's fun.
like nothing to be mad about there,
I approve of the gender
other than
reveal.
the color.
Yeah, other than the fact that we wanted a girl. I don't even
Yeah,
know him. I wanted a girl.
yeah. So I'm pretty mad at her husband for contributing the wrong chromosome, but it
Honestly.
is what it is. No, it was good. It was the first gender reveal I think I've ever been to, but
Yeah. Well, speaking of
I
babies,
ate cake. I broke my.
ooh.
Well, of course, I had already broke it because I ate watermelon last night and this morning, so kind of already broke my carb diet doing that. And then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and eat some cake too.
You could, yeah, like if it's already broken.
Yeah, might as well just go all out. And I can tell because I feel super bloated now. Like I
You know
feel
what?
like
I've been
I gained
eating
20 pounds. Like my stomach just feels so bloated.
I am livid right now because I have been eating salads and drinking soup because I don't feel well all week. I do not like, I look fatter than I normally do. Like, I'm looking in the mirror and I'm like, why am I like, I usually have like a slight hourglass, but I'm like, nope, you're just a full rectangle right now. And I'm angry. And I'm like, I have been eating salads and not even just like pre-made salads with like the heavy dressing. Like I bought my vegetables and I'm like cutting them up and I'm eating kale and I'm eating spinach and I'm eating like all of the good ones and I'm like putting good things in them and I'm just so angry.
Yeah.
And I weigh more this week too. So I'm just like, what in the hell is this? Like I did the
Maybe
right
you need to go
thing.
potty. Maybe you haven't pottied.
Yeah. That's what somebody else said. They're like, it's probably water weight. And I'm like, I pee all the time. I'm constantly drinking water.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping it'll even out. But I am like, I like making salads and it is like a nice thing to do. Although today I made a salad for dinner. I the thing that I hate the most about homemade salads, you never pick the right bowl. Never in my life on the right do I get the right bowl on the first try. I put in one, I was like, this will work, but I could probably do it better. Put in another one. I start mixing my dressing and I'm like, this still doesn't feel big enough. So I got like the biggest bowl I had. And I was like, why do I need a bowl that's like this big to eat a little salad?
Yeah.
Um, but now I have a bunch of dirty bowls in my sink to wash because I did not pick the right one. I'm just like, this feels right.
Yeah.
See, I am constantly fighting to keep this apartment clean. Like it's always a mess. It doesn't matter. Like I cleaned all day today. Like I woke up and I was like, you said last weekend you were going to clean and then you were just gone all weekend. You have to clean. Like I have to do laundry this weekend. And I have to clean. I'm like, I can't live in this apartment like it is anymore. Like I'm climbing over stuff. I have like piles of things that would be very easy to fix. And I just feel like I'm constantly battling the organization of this apartment. And I did get a couple more things. Like I bought a dresser, so that helped because I have like an insane amount of clothing. Um, like I have two closets full of clothing, and they're like full hallway size closets. And I wear them all because I also have a bunch of clothing that is in those air pack, like the vacuum pack bags. And I was like, oh, I don't need these right now. So I put them in vacuum pack bags and I still have an insane amount of clothing.
Yeah.
So I have that, and then I'm just trying to like rearrange. Like I moved the couch into my bedroom. a couple weeks ago so I could put 2 litter robots in my living room. And I love that. And I love how like clean that area of my living room looks. Like I just look over and it's like all cat stuff just in that one section. So I have that. But I have all of my storage totes because I've decided to sell off a lot of my Barbies. So like it was a weird just kind of like moment where I had to like go through them all and be like, do I still love this one as much as when I got it? And like I did that with my Barbies and then with my pop figures too. And what I found is that I don't love any of them as much as I thought I did.
Yeah.
Like before looking at them, I'm sitting there thinking, I was like, okay, I'm definitely going to be keeping my Hunger Games Barbies. I'm definitely going to be keeping my Wizard of Oz ones. I'm definitely going to be keeping all of these pop figures. And I'm looking at them and I'm like, I don't think I care that much about this as I thought I did. Like I thought I was like, oh, I'll just probably get rid of my holiday Barbies because what am I going to do? Collect the holiday ones until I die? That's too many Barbies. Um, but now I only have like maybe less than 20 that I'm like 100% going to keep, and they're all like more weirder ones. Like I will never get rid of my Drew Carey Barbie doll. I will never get rid of my Rosie O'Donnell. Well, that one because it has the fun memory attached to it from the flea market. Um, and then I have a Girl Scout one that one of my friends that passed away got me, and um, my Tokidoki one is my favorite. So like she's always going to be there. And then I have like, my Campbell Soup, my Toys R Us Barbies, like just like ones that actually mean something. So now I'm like, oh, maybe I don't need a full room in my house to like house these Barbies because they're all in storage totes right now because I have cats that are monsters and also no room in this apartment.
Yeah.
So I have to like start selling those off and listing them and figuring out how to do that. And then once I do, I feel like I'm going to have so much room and I will have storage totes available for all of my junk to go into.
Yeah. I've been trying to become more of a minimalist and get rid of things that I'm like, I don't need this stuff. Like, I don't, and we recently took, I want to say 2 or 3 truckloads of stuff to Goodwill that was
Really?
like, we don't need this stuff. I mean, between me and Lillian, and she's had probably 3 trash bags full of clothes.
Yeah.
I want to say in the past couple months, I've gotten rid of like 12 trash bags full of
Oh,
clothes.
honestly, me too. I
And I
went
don't
through,
understand it because I don't feel like I have any more space.
no,
I'm like, where the hell were all these clothes at? Because I still
I,
don't have space. I don't
I
understand.
did that. I did that months ago. I went through all of my clothes. I got rid of like 3 large boxes from like Home Depot, like the large moving boxes of clothes, and I give them to my mom and my sister, and I see them wearing them all the time, and it makes me happy that like they are wearing my old clothes and they aren't just like these are garbage. We don't want them. So I did that, and then also the kitchen stuff. So I got rid of like a ton of shit for my kitchen. But then naturally, like today, I saw an egg cooker that's like this will poach an egg for you, and like I don't know how to poach an egg, and I refuse to learn the real way. So I'm like it'll poach an egg for me, you say. Maybe I should get this extra kitchen tool. So I'm just like amassing more things because I think I'm secretly a hoarder.
Yeah.
So,
I
well,
I feel like I could have very easily been a hoarder until I moved out last year and lived with Jeremy.
mm,
Only took what I absolutely needed
yeah.
and then
What's the
lived
problem?
there
Yeah,
like
like when
that.
you
And it
only
was like,
take a
this
few
is so much
things.
easier because
Yep.
like if I need to clean, it takes me 20 minutes and everything's clean and put up and because I don't have a ton of shit to try and have to figure out where the hell I'm gonna put it. Um,
That's what I'm trying to get to, like where everything has a space and I'm very close, but I'm not there yet.
yeah, it was a lot nicer. So I'm hoping to over the next year or two of my life just keep getting rid of stuff that I know that I don't need. Um, and I've also stopped myself from buying as much stuff too because it's like
Yeah.
normally I'd be like, oh, I don't need this. I don't need
I've
it.
been trying to wait, like I'll add things to my Amazon cart and then I'll just like wait a little bit
Yeah.
and I'll see if I still need it. Like I definitely know that I need a new coffee table. I'm very excited about this. I am actually going to invest in a coffee table that has a raised part of it so I don't have to use a box on top of a footstool on top of a coffee table to record this show.
Yeah.
Um, and it had like storage in it too. So I was like, oh, all of my stuff, like I can put my ring light in there, I can put my microphone in there, and that'll free up space in my living room because Right now it's just sitting in a box literally in the middle of my living room.
Yeah.
I'm like, I want everything to just look neater. So I'm like, I've picked out the one that I wanted, but I'm like waiting, and then it's killing me because I'm not a patient person. Like I'm definitely, yeah, like I'm an instant gratification. I'm like, I can buy it right now. Why am I not buying it right now? But I'm like, Amazon Prime Day is coming up, so I'm like, maybe it'll go on sale on Prime Day. But since I added it to my wish list, it's actually gone up $10 in price. And it wasn't even on sale when I added it. And I was like, I'm
They
just,
probably did that in lieu of Prime Day, so then they can knock that $10
yeah.
off. It looks like it's on sale.
Well, that's what every time I go to Kohl's, I'm like, those prices aren't real. Like clothing prices aren't real. I know every time I shop at Torrid, everything is 35% off because that's the actual price.
Right.
JC Penney did that years ago. They did away with like the sale prices. They're like, we are no longer going to raise our prices to put things on sale. We are going to just, these are the real prices. And nobody, like their sales went down because nobody trusted them. And they were like, no, this seems too high. But then the same item, that same price, but 20% off because they raised the price. Like, yes, what a deal. What a saving. I was like, God,
Yeah.
we really are just a trash population.
Right.
You saved that video. We were talking about the gender reveal. That woman who had 10 babies, and I saw part of it. I didn't read the article, but somebody commented, they were like, she thought she was only having 8 and she had 10. I'm like, 8 is too many. Like,
that's way too many.
Like it just
I can't
seems
remember
so
if she had the in vitro or not.
I'm sure that she did like a natural birth, like that. I don't think that happens naturally.
Well, whatever it was like the most babies I think anyone's ever had.
Yeah.
Or recorded, anyways.
Yeah.
We don't know in the history of the universe, but
True. Yeah, I like looking at her belly. I was like, I could not. Like, I saw that and I was like, I don't want to be pregnant. I don't ever want to be pregnant.
Not like that.
Like, the universe would be like, you know what? You should have triplets. I've seen people pregnant with twins, pregnant with triplets, and you're just like, no.
I was so huge with both of mine. Like, I was a huge pregnant. Like, my belly was so big. Of course, Lillian was almost 10 pounds when she was born.
Jeez.
And Sagan was a month early and was almost 9 pounds.
Yikes.
Like 8 pounds, 12 and a half ounces.
Yeah.
At a month early.
Yeah, that's
like if he would have went full term, like in the last like month of the pregnancy, they gained like a pound a week.
I was gonna say, yeah, that's
4 more pounds.
Yeah,
like,
they're like, you know what, we're just gonna take this thing out now.
It would have killed me. Like he was a full grown baby a month early.
My God.
Like he didn't have to be on oxygen. He didn't have any issues. Like he was like good to go.
He came out ready to go.
Yeah, he's been ready to go. Like he was, oh my God. He is the most hyper person. And even in my belly, like as soon as I could start feeling him kick, he was just kicking all the time. Like always just moving around in there, punching and kicking and wiggling. And I'm like, bro, calm down. Let me get some rest.
You're like, this is a calm.
Like he has been himself since conception. I'm completely confident.
I can't, I hear these things and I'm just like, I don't want it. And then I see the pictures of the people that are like, my baby's kicking. You can see the full foot in their belly. And I'm like,
his smallest little ultrasounds when he was like a gummy bear, he was wiggling. Like I'm telling you, he's been a mover since conception.
So it's just really weird. So I want to believe that I would have a quiet, chill child who would just like be super cool and like watch what I want to watch and stuff. But like I did daycare and like those kids are fucking monsters. Like I'd be like, I'm gonna put on this, classic movie from my childhood. And they're like, fuck you, we hate it. Put on Moana. And I'm like, we've watched Moana 3 times this week. And they're like, Moana again. And I'm like, all right, Moana again.
So something I've been doing this week that I normally do is I have been playing GTA more. Like I've actually been playing with my gaming crew as if I'm a member of the gaming crew.
Oh my God, that's so exciting. I was gonna say, you just ride around in the car.
Yeah. And I've actually been playing. I did some events. I've leveled up like 7 or 8 levels this week. Like,
Ooh.
really been playing. And I've actually been having fun. And naturally, since I'm starting to play again, I'm having fun. I'm about to be leaving for like a week
Well, yeah.
so that I can't play. But no, I've been having fun with my gaming crew playing GTA.
That's exciting. I remember
Yeah.
when you played it when I was there and like we were listening to like these people like I don't remember were they fighting or were they just having a dumb conversation? But it was just two people. They were just back and forth and we were like, "Oh my god, I can't possibly listen to this anymore." So we just went and killed them. Like
I don't think it was anyone from my crew. I think it was other
no,
random
it wasn't
dudes.
from your crew. We were just
Yeah,
like
it's other
in the
random
game.
crews. Yeah.
But they were just awful. So we just went and found them and then we heard them because we weren't using mics. And then
Was
she's
that
like
when I
sitting
was
there.
playing Red Dead?
Yeah, but we did GTA first.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Cause we're like, cause you win, you're like, let's go kill her. And then on the mic you just hear, who is shooting me? Who is
That
this
was on
person? I
Red
was like,
Dead. Yeah, I remember that. That was on Red Dead, I think. No, maybe it was
no, it
GTA.
was GTA. And
It
then we
was
switched
GTA. You're right.
yeah.
Yeah, I remember now.
Yeah, because Kingy took that girl out like multiple times. And she's like, who is this? Who keeps killing me? I'm gonna get you. And we're like, the hell you are.
Yeah, good times, good times.
Yeah.
We played one event, and it was like the first time I'd ever played this event, and I like kept killing some of the guys in the crew like over and over, and they're like, "God, she's on a kill streak." I'm like, I don't even know how to play. How in the world am I actually killing you people that play all?
That's me playing Mortal Kombat actually. I don't know how to play video games. I'm historically bad at it. But Mortal Kombat, I'm very good at like a shocking level where I'll win and like everybody's like staring at me and I'm like, why is everybody staring at me? And they're like, you won. I was like, oh, did I?
Oh,
Like I didn't
how
even
did you
notice.
even know?
I'm like, oh, I was just, hitting buttons and but I play with
A
noob.
button masher.
I am. And so
Don't
I
even
play
know what I'm
noob.
hitting. I'm just hitting
He,
them.
he does that stuff where he takes you underground and just beats the shit out of you. So you only need to like figure that out. And a smart person would look up the code that I'm button mashing in to find out how I actually do it. I don't do that, and I just button mash and call it a day. But then, for balance, I was playing Lollipop Chainsaw, and like level 2, there was this thing where you have to like solve this like simple puzzle to get into the stairs, and I'd solve the puzzle, but I couldn't like figure out how to get into the stairs. So like I couldn't pass the level because you have to do it within a certain time frame. And I'm like looking up cheat codes for it. There's no cheat codes because getting up a staircase is not a thing that you should need a cheat code for. So then I'm just like, okay, well, I guess I just have to stop playing this because I can't get past this level. And now I'm upset.
Yeah, I'm a little upset that I won't be able to play this week because I've kind of gotten into the. In fact, I didn't go to the gym this week. Instead, I
No,
played video games.
why?
Well, I actually wanted to test to see if that's why I've stopped gaining weight or losing weight. Gaining weight, stopped losing weight because I was losing up until I started going to the gym, and then I stopped losing. So I thought, well, maybe if I don't go, it'll re-kickstart my fat loss because I
And
won't
did
be
it?
making any more muscles. And it didn't work. I still haven't lost any more. I haven't gained any, but I still haven't lost any more weight. So I'm like, but I haven't been doing great on my keto diet. Like I've been sticking with it for the most part, but I have been eating some things that I know have a little bit of carbs in them. So I think I need to cut more carbs to get back into ketosis. I don't think I'm in
Okay.
ketosis, and that's probably the issue. So that's gonna be hard to do on vacation.
Yeah, I was gonna say I kind of just like would just, you try your best, but it is what it is. I want to do more cooking and I just like am not. And I'm so mad. I bought chicken because I was like, I'm gonna be healthy. I'm gonna, do chicken. I'm gonna, cook all these things. And there is a chicken shortage. And I didn't know that. So I like thought when I went to go and get it, I was like, oh, there's like no chicken here. Like that's weird, but like whatever. There's these 2 packs. So I open them. I'm like, these don't feel right. And I was like, and they also smell bad. And they were like, the sell by date was that day. And I was like, "Ugh, I know like technically they're probably fine because the sell by, not the use by. But I was like, they
I'm
smell.
just not one to like.
No, I'm not either. Like they smelled off and they felt off. So I just like I put them in a bag and I put them in my freezer so I can throw them out when they do trash here.
Yeah.
And I'm bummed because I'm like, well, that was the protein I was going to get. So now I have to like I really need to like do more plant-based proteins because we have the chicken shortage and I think there's a beef short. It's not, I don't think it's a shortage. I think it's just the cost is higher. So
Yeah.
like all of the prices of meat are going up and I'm just like, well, I guess now is as good a time as any to like do less meat,
Yeah.
but I'm just too lazy.
Well, I've been eating tons of meat. Now that I can eat meat again.
Oh, fully?
I mean, I have been. I can tell. Like, it does make me really tired whenever I eat the red meats, but I'm just like, I'm trying to eat keto. So, I mean, I'm just going to have to
You're like, I'll just be tired. I don't care.
just be
Can't
tired.
eat when you're
Tired all day,
sleeping.
anyways. Whatever's like. Um, so, no, I haven't noticed a shortage of chicken. Like, when I go, there's plenty of chicken always.
Yeah, I didn't
But we do
remember
have
up
chicken
until
farms in this area too. So, I don't know if that
yeah,
plays a role. I don't know.
maybe. Because I know one of my friends works in a kitchen at a restaurant and he told me like on Thursday he's like we ran out of chicken and I'm like you mean you ran out of chicken? He's like there's a chicken shortage and we ran out of chicken and I don't know when we're getting more chicken. And I was like dude, you're going into the weekend and you're like not having chicken during summer. Are you crazy? And he's like yeah, people are going to be like pissed.
Salads for everyone.
Well, but everybody gets chicken on their salad.
Well, they're not now.
Yeah. I was like,
But you know
every
what hasn't slowed down? The
salad,
fishing industry.
the fishing.
According to Seaspiracy, they're at
I've been watching MasterChef, and they keep making fish, and I just keep seeing it. And I'm like, that looks delicious, and I want to try it. Like they did like a pistachio crusted salmon, and I was like, that looks incredible. But like, I'm not going to make my own fish, so I just need like somebody else to like come and cook me some fish.
It's just really easy. We usually just bake it.
That's what people say, but I just
It's
don't
easy.
trust it.
Like I'll put down some wax paper, parchment paper, or
Yeah.
whatever, and just sprinkle some olive oil and lay the fish on it, and then sprinkle some olive oil on the fish, and then put whatever seasonings I want on it, and you just bake it for like 20-30 minutes, if that, and it's done, and it's really good.
Maybe I'll try it. I get too nervous. But it is something that I do want to try. And like
And you can do it in the
I
skillet
want to
too. Like you can pretty much do that in the skillet as well. Just put a little bit of oil down, stick it in there.
no. I try not to do things in the skillet. Like I don't like my stove at all. Like I like the stove top better than the oven, but if I can just avoid the stove and use my toaster oven, that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah, you could probably just use the toaster oven for fish.
Yeah.
Fish doesn't take like a super long time to cook. Like it's a pretty easy thing to cook. Like Lily,
That
I can't say Lily. Lily's a great cook, so that's not really a good example. But
I'm a good cook. My issue is that I don't have it's just cooking for me. So it's like everything, the portions just they suck. Cause like I'm a recipe person. I'm not a, you know, person that will just experiment with things in the kitchen. I need a recipe, but all of the recipes are like, and this is for a family of four. And I'm like, I can't do that because even and I know I can like half it and like do all that stuff, but it's still just like, I don't know, it's weird, but I'm not a big leftovers person. I don't like cooking for just myself. Like I just need somebody to cook for me. That's it.
Yeah.
Like
you should start like a single people's group where like this day this person's in charge of cooking for everyone. This day this person's in charge of cooking for everyone.
I've tried being like, hey, I cooked all of this food. Like, does anybody want anything? And my friends are all just like, no, I'm good. And I'm like, cool. Like, guess I'll just throw this out. Like, So, because I tried, but like, and I tried meal
Like a
prepping,
group of like 4 to 6 people that all don't have anyone else to cook, to cook
but you
for.
also have to find a group of 4 to 6 people who like to cook. And like,
I don't know what to tell you. I'm just trying to throw out
I
ideas
know,
here.
I know. I've been looking for like recipes that are just for like 1 to 2 people. Like I got the Instapot mini because they're like, oh, this is perfect for 1 to 2 or for 2 to 3 servings. And I'm like, that's perfect 'cause that gives me a little bit of leftovers and I will be better about it. Um, and then I'm like finding out, I'm trying to find recipes for it and they're all for the regular Instapot. And I was like, I don't want to do the regular Instapot because they're like, well, you can just half the recipe, but you have to, it's very important. There needs to be, this much liquid in there total. And I'm like, but there's not that much liquid. So like if I have the recipe, then I can't do it. So it's just this weird thing of now I'm too afraid to use my Instapot. I have been using my air fryer and I really do love the air
I
fryer.
love the air fryer.
Like I reheated crispy chicken today to put in my
Yeah,
leftover
like fried
pasta.
stuff you've had. Normally, when you reheat fried stuff, it's like shit.
Yeah.
But it makes it like it's fresh.
I got fries a few weeks ago from Arby's and they were like kind of cold and I was like, wonder if they'd be good in the air fryer. Popped them in the air fryer, delicious.
Yeah.
Like I love the air fryer and I'm happy that I got it. And it does have the capability to like do all those things. Like it will dehydrate and it'll bake stuff. And I'm like, really need to start utilizing these things. Like I have
I
a bunch of
put stuffed
leftover.
peppers in mine last night. So I used to make my stuffed peppers. Like I would make the stuff, for the middle and stuff them and then stick them in the oven until the pepper was done. But then I read online that if you just boil your peppers before you stuff them, then they're done, and all you're really doing is melting the cheese. Just cook
Okay.
them long enough to melt the cheese. So I did that. So I browned my hamburger meat, and I used cauliflower rice instead of regular rice to try and do low carb.
Was it sad?
It was actually fine with that because you really couldn't tell a difference
Yeah.
since it was seasoned and had the meat with it and cheese and all that. But then I boiled the bell peppers and then I stuffed them and then stuck them in the air fryer to melt the cheese and kind of crisp everything up. It was great and it took like literally like 5 minutes in the air fryer after I did that. Normally I would have done everything and then stuck it in the oven for 30
Yeah.
or 45 minutes. So I was like, oh my God, this is so much easier. I will never make stuffed peppers in the oven ever again.
I was watching the start of a Try Guys video, and then I stopped it because I was like, actually, this looks delicious, and I'm going to like wait and watch this with somebody who like knows how to cook, and then make them make it for me. They were making chicken sandwiches, but instead of chicken, they were using mushrooms. And I was like, you know what? I bet that is a pretty similar like consistency. So
Yeah.
they were like, they had like a bushel of mushrooms and they like put in like a wet mix and then a dry mix and then they were like frying it and they looked delicious. And I was like, I kind of want to try that because I'm like I'm so hit and miss with mushrooms. Like I want to love mushrooms and I do,
Love mushrooms.
but only to a certain point. Like at a certain point, like I'll be like mid meal and then it'll just hit me. It's like, nope, that's too much mushroom. Like the texture is now uncomfortable for you and you cannot consume any more mushrooms. So I'll just like have to pick out the rest of them. I don't want to do that. I want to get to a point that I like enjoy mushrooms because I do. I was like, maybe that will be a good like alternative and get some like chicken sandwiches.
Yeah.
I'm craving like an egg sandwich right now. So I'm gonna go and like get a bagel and some eggs and like fry an egg, which I haven't done in forever because I'm technically not supposed to eat eggs because of the sensitivities, but also like fuck those. So I'm like, I'm like, I could really go for just like a fried egg sandwich. So I'm gonna go to the store tomorrow because I don't keep any of those things. Like literally no part of that is kept in my apartment because I don't eat them. Like I have to go and get bagels, I have to go and get eggs, I have to go and get butter because I don't even have butter here.
Oh, I always have butter. I'm a Southern girl. Like I have a
Yeah.
whole shelf in the door of my fridge that is different types of butter.
Well, you know what? I had butter, but my fridge broke. And I had to throw out everything in my fridge. And so I did have like 4 different kinds of butter and I had to get rid of them. And then I just like haven't replaced them because I haven't made anything that needed butter. And I do have some ghee, which I mean is a butter substitute. but I'm not 100% sure. I did have ghee, like
Like the duck?
Ghee. What?
The duck fat?
I don't know. No, it's plant-based, I think. It's a
Oh,
vegan, like vegans can eat
I
it.
have
So it's
some
not,
ghee and it's duck fat.
I don't think mine is. I'll check it, but like, are you looking it up?
Yeah.
Because like I thought it was because I know a lot of like people that eat plant-based use that instead of regular butter because regular butter has dairy in it. But I found there's one version of
Okay,
butter.
yeah, you're right.
Okay. I was gonna say, I was like, I'm pretty sure there's one version of butter, it's like English butter in the grocery store that doesn't have dairy. And I was like, oh, okay, I'll use this.
Yeah, it has lower lactose. But I thought my duck stuff was called ghee. I'm looking that up too.
Okay, that I did find out. So I make my own like Reese cups. And I do like a dark chocolate and then I do almond butter. And there was a version of them that used coconut butter. And they had like coconut butter in the store, but it was like, this is coconut butter. And then the recipe was like coconut spread. And I was like, well, spread also means butter. Apparently, when it comes to coconuts, spread and butter do not mean the same thing. What did you find out?
I came across a really gross thing. Oh my god.
What is it?
I just show y'all this.
Okay.
Oh, it's dog snacks. Well, that definitely makes it better, but I don't know if it's going to show up. You see this? It's duck heads.
Oh yeah. My one of
Freeze
my
dried
friends gets
duck
it.
heads.
Yes. So one of my friends gets it for my old roommate's dog constantly because he knows that my old roommate hates them and it grosses him out, but the dog loves them. The dog is obsessed. Duck heads, duck feet. He loves them. So like my old roommate will like constantly let the dog eat them and just be like grossed out. So like if you ever want to upset him, you have to get him like duck heads for his
That's
dog.
disgusting.
It is. It's
Ever
no
give a
worse than
dog
bully sticks though. Bully sticks are bull testicles.
that? What?
Did you not know that? Do you feed your dog bully sticks?
Yes.
Yeah, that's bull
I
testicles.
thought it was like tendons.
I don't think so. We'll look it up. No, you talk. I'll look this one up.
I don't have anything else to say.
Ugh.
I'm boring. So this
See.
picture behind me is of the Norfolk Lake Dam, which is where I'm going this week. Is to
Very
Norfolk.
cool. Okay, this says beef muscle. So I was always told they were beef
I
testicles.
think you were lied to. Because there will be a lot of testicles at the pet store. Because they have like all different kinds of bully sticks.
Okay, wait. Okay. It says pizzles or bully sticks are mostly produced today as chewing treats for dogs. Bull penises are dried in open air or in ovens. So not testicles, just the penis.
That is gross.
Yeah.
I'm never buying my dog another one of those ever
You
again.
have to. Your doggy loves them and they're very rich in protein.
There's a lot of things rich in protein, but I don't go around eating them.
Maybe you should. I- they sell bull penises like in certain grocery stores. Like the Mexican grocery store by me, they have tongues and they have penises and they have like all of it. And I'm just like, I
I've seen the
can't.
tongues. And they have chicken feet around here.
And I know like calf brains are a thing that
Yeah.
people like to eat. I think that's foie gras or whatever. And I'm just like, listen, there are certain things that are just too gross. Like I'm not that adventurous when it comes to food. Like I'll do it like if I'm trying it, but like specifically if it's like I will try multiple different animals in jerky form. But if you're like, here's an ostrich, I'm like, Like I tried I try. I tried like wild boar one time and I was like, this literally tastes gamey and I don't
Yeah, I
like
don't
it.
like wild boar.
Yeah. So it's like certain things I'm just like something I do like, but I'm super ashamed of. I like veal. Like
I don't
every
like
time
veal.
huh?
I don't like veal. I don't like
Good.
um lamb. I don't like that.
I don't know if I've ever had lamb. I feel like I've had duck before, but I can't remember if I liked
I
it.
love duck.
Yeah.
I could eat duck every single day. Like
Really?
I love duck.
I know my
Which is
cats love
crazy
duck.
because I don't like dark meat usually in
Yeah.
poultry, but duck is like all dark meat. It's like a
Yeah.
dark, but it's so good. The only thing is duck is a very dry meat.
Hmm.
Um, and so if you don't cook it just right, it's super dry, but
Oh.
I love it. Love it.
Yeah, I know when I get my cats food, they really love duck and they also really love rabbit. I never tried rabbit though.
I don't like rabbit. I don't like squirrel. I don't like anything else.
One of the
I like
chefs on
I feel like I liked Dove. Um, but I don't really remember. Ugh, there's a little bug flying around that's driving me nuts.
I saw somebody on MasterChef today. She tried to serve them squirrel pie. Like
Yeah.
they took and they were like, I'm not even going to like eat this. And I was like, yeah, it's a little rough. And then what was it? Somebody else made something like super weird, and you're just like, no.
I like venison or deer.
Hmm.
You know that I love deer meat. I love fried deer meat. It's so good. My parents have had snake. I don't remember what type, but they killed a snake and decided they'd cook it and eat it. Like my parents will eat anything. Like they will try anything.
Don't you have like
And I'm like, what is this?
I
This
feel
is
like people actually really like snake though. Like I feel like that's a thing that people really enjoy. I do not like octopus. I find it too
oh no.
chewy.
Yeah, it's too rubbery.
Yeah, like I can't do it. I love eel though. So like I love getting eel and stuff, but octopus, I'm like, no, I have to chew it too many times and I'm still chewing it and I hate it.
It wasn't until probably I was in my 20s before, like probably mid to late 20s, before I would even eat try lobster and crab legs. Like I'm
I
not
don't think I've
now
had
I love
crab.
them. Like I love lobster and crab legs, but like I am one of the like as far as oceanic type food.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, not trying that. No, not trying that. Not doing that. But I've tried like mussels and oysters and all that. I don't like those. I like the flavor, but just the thought of what I'm eating and the text just it grosses me out. Like I'm very much a texture person, and
I saw a cool video of like somebody who like humanely gets pearls out of oysters because like traditionally when you get the pearl out of the oyster, you kill it. Like you gotta pop it open and like and it kills it, but they like figured out a way to like humanely remove pearls and then they put like a new starter in there, but like and I sat there and I was like, I know that like the pearl industry is big, but that's also sad because the only reason that pearls exist is because a grain of sand got in there and it irritates them, so they keep
yeah,
coating it. Like, so you're just intentionally irritating this poor clam.
whatever it is.
Yeah, the muscle. I think they're clams. Um, to like get more pearls. And then I remember like when I was little and I went to SeaWorld and I was like so excited because you do the pearl diver. So like they go down and they get you a one and then that's your pearl. And I'm like, I have a pearl. I don't know what happened to it. It was just in like a little
Yeah.
bag somewhere.
So, and that was here in Arkansas too.
Oh yeah, it was. I remember, yeah. I saw that and I was like, oh, it's so close.
Um, so this lady here in Arkansas, I think it was down by Little Rock. She was speeding. I think the speed limit was what 70, and she was
60. It was 60 and she was going 74. So she was going 14 miles over the speed limit.
yeah. So she was speeding, and he went to pull her over. And instead of pulling over, because there were concrete barriers on either side, she didn't feel that there was enough shoulder space. So she turned on her hazards. She dropped her speed by like 24 miles per hour, I think is what it said, to wait for an exit so she could take an exit and then pull over in a parking lot. Which first that's a good thing for her to want to do. Is
That's
why
the
would you want to pull over
safest
on the
way to do
side
it.
of the highway?
Yeah.
Second, women are told all of the time and by law enforcement, if
Yeah.
you don't feel safe, wait till you get to like a lit parking lot that's public and then pull over.
Yeah.
So that was the second thing. Third, she didn't have any warrants or anything for her arrest.
Yeah. It
She
was just
wasn't,
speeding.
it was just speeding. She wasn't doing anything, terrible. Um, so there was no reason for him to think she's like a flight risk or anything, who's going to bolt, which obviously if she slows down and turns on her hazard, she's not planning on bolting anyways. So
Right?
this douchebag of a prick does that pit maneuver where they bump I guess probably the back corner, that
Yeah.
kind of causes you to spin a little bit.
Hmm.
She flips her vehicle like
Yeah,
she
she lost control. She went
lost
off
control.
his dash cam, and then when you see her again, that car is flipped.
Yeah. So he flips her fucking vehicle. She's pregnant.
Yeah, she was
Not
2 months
upside down.
pregnant.
Yeah, she's pregnant. Luckily, she didn't lose the baby.
And it was so early in the pregnancy too. They said that when she first went to the hospital, they couldn't detect a heartbeat, and they were like, "Hey, I don't think this is going to make it." But then the next day, luckily, they did. And then I saw the picture where she does have that baby.
yeah, yeah. So he, being the douchebag, and it wasn't even that long of a time either. That
No,
Like it was so uncalled for. Like
yeah,
that's if it's a high speed chase and you've run out of options and
yeah, then it makes
and
sense.
they're like going toward people like they're gonna end up hitting someone, and you genuinely fear for the public's safety.
Yes.
This woman was not in that category at all. So all this happens and the bastard is still a
Oh, he was
cop
so
and
mean to her.
all, like going
Like
around.
she was literally upside down in her car, and he was like, "Ma'am, do you know that you're a danger to others?" And she's hanging in her car, and he's still being an asshole to her.
Yeah, total
And I
jerk.
saw that. It was so crazy. Like I could not. And they've said the pit maneuver, it flips cars a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people lose control
Like
of
a
their
lot of people
vehicle.
have died from it, said.
Yeah. So it's just one of those things that you're like, why is this a normal maneuver that we're utilizing when there's so many? And she put her hazards on. Like
Yeah.
she was
Suing the
very
bastard.
clearly.
I can't remember if it was him personally or the state police.
I feel like you can't sue cops personally.
Okay, then it must have been the Arkansas State Police. But
Yeah.
anyway, she's suing over that, and I
She
don't
should.
blame her. She could have lost her own life, her child's life.
Yeah.
When she flipped, she could have hit another vehicle. Like he made that such a dangerous situation when it wasn't at all.
No, yeah, it was
How
such
the
a
fuck he
crazy.
didn't lose his job over that is beyond me.
That was what I saw too. They were like, he's not even suspended. And you're like, he literally flipped a car of somebody who was it
like, what if she had
obviously
little kids in the vehicle with her?
yeah. He had no idea.
No. What if she was on the way to the hospital? Like he had
Yeah,
no.
like it made no sense. That was like it was just the stupidest judgment call. And then to be a dick after she's
Yeah.
flipped. Like who does that? Like he didn't even seem because you could hear all of the audio. He didn't even seem concerned for her safety. She was literally in a flipped over SUV and he didn't even seem concerned for her safety after he caused her to flip.
Yeah. Total prick. He deserves to have his face punched in.
Yeah, I wish that we could have just like the whole system re-looked at for like some of these practices. You had the Derek Chauvin on George Floyd's neck. That maneuver is not safe in any capacity, especially if the suspect is like already on the ground and not resisting, especially if they're in handcuffs. The pit maneuver flips cars. I mean, there's so many different very dangerous things that the police are taught to do first. Like nobody uses the de-escalation. I know every time in my town, every time that they use like de-escalation procedures, they actually post about it on their Facebook page. Like they literally go, they're like, we did not have to use force. These are the tactics that we use. These are the de-escalation processes that we have in place. We are very committed to not using force to in every situation that we can. But like that's so nice. Like it's nice that I live in a town and I live in, a lot of people say that my town is extremely dangerous. Like And I don't feel like it. I've never had an issue here. But yeah, like it's nice to live in a place where, you see that the cops are trying to like de-escalate situations instead of flipping people's cars when they do it. And then you think about it in your own capacity. Like I speed, like I don't even notice it, and then I will, and then I'll slow down. Um, there's nobody on the roads, and then the people that are on the roads are also speeding. So even when I'm speeding, I'm still not going as fast as these other cars, and it's just as dangerous in those situations to not be speeding to keep up with the other
Yeah.
cars. Because that was always the weirdest part about driving for me, is they told you, they're like, it's illegal to speed, but it's also illegal to not keep up with traffic. And I'm like,
It's
well, which
more
do
of
you
a
want me to
danger
do?
to the other drivers if you're not keeping up with
Yeah.
traffic and you're blocking them than if you're just speeding.
Yeah, and you're blocking them, and then they get road rage too. Like I cannot tell you how many times when I'm going, 5 over the speed limit, some big ass truck gets right behind me where I'm like, they're definitely going to hit me with their brights on me, and they're like clearly, agitated, and then they speed around me, and then they jerk right in front of me. That's the worst, is when
Yeah.
they, for no reason. It's like there's open lanes on both sides, but like if you're going the speed limit, instead of just switching to another lane, a lot of drivers will just get right up on your ass, tailgate you for a while, go around you, but cut you off. And I'm like, there's
Yeah.
no reason for that. But they do
Like I
it.
get road rage, but I'm never an aggressive road rager. Like
Oh,
I just cuss people out and that's it.
yeah.
Like I don't cut them off. I don't do that stupid shit because
No, I,
like I've been in wrecks and I've lost people that I love in wrecks, so
mhm.
it's not worth.
It's not. I can't. I'm always floored by it. Like you see those people, and like they'll flick you off when they drive by you. They'll cut you off, and I'm like, why? Why are you like this? Like just go around. Like why did you need to get right up on me instead of going around on this
Yeah.
totally empty highway? And even I've had that happen to me actually in the full right lane too. Like I'll be going 5 over the speed limit, and like the lane that you're supposed to go the speed limit in, and people get right up on my ass and like get pissed by. I'm like, no, this is the lane that's acceptable to be going the speed limit. Like,
Yeah.
don't
This is
do
a
this to
slow
me.
lane.
Yeah.
Quit being a prick.
Yeah. But yeah, so it's one of those things where I'm like, it, it's something that could totally happen to any person. And, I'm always nervous about that too, because the story that always sticks out for me with being pulled over by the cops is that it's not a real police officer,
Yeah.
because it can be an unmarked car with fake lights. So that's why I've always been taught, if you're on a highway where like there's not a lot of other cars, if it's not lit, you need to pull over. You also need to call 911 and like tell them that you're doing that, but then you could also get in trouble for using your cell phone. So
Right. So it's just one of those.
there's no winning.
No. I
Um,
don't think. I think we should do away with the speeding tickets anyways, and it should just be a hazardous driving ticket if you're like speeding and whipping around and being dangerous. Um, because I don't think cops should be out just trying to give people tickets. Like I
yeah,
don't think that I think they should be focusing on criminals, not people who are in a hurry to get to work. Like
yeah.
if
I mean, it
obviously
kind of
they're just
depends
driving
too.
recklessly, that's totally
Yeah,
different. But if they're just speeding, like this woman was just speeding, like she's not doing anything. Like chill out. Maybe flash your lights at her to let her know she needs to slow down. That's
yeah.
really all he should have done.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I'm so on the fence with speeding, because it does come to the point where like you lose your control of your car a lot easier, but also usually you don't. So it's one of those things where I'm like, I wish it was more warnings. Like if you're a habitual speeder, then you get tickets.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think that cops should be pulling people over for just speeding because, just the hell of it. Like if she because I think too, they said there was very little cars on the road. And I know I got a speeding ticket once. It was like the first nice day in an April after like a really shitty winter. I was driving home. It was like 60 degrees. I had my windows down. I had the music up. I was going like 15 over the speed limit, which like 15 is the next tier, because you have like the 0 to 15, which is like, well, it's bad, but you're okay. And then 15, I got pulled over for it. I was on a stretch of road that was next to a forest preserve on one side and like a very large median. And there was also no cars. And he's like, "You're endangering lives." And I'm like, "Just my own." Like the only life I'm endangering right now
here
is mine. Um, and I got a ticket for it, and I paid the ticket, and I didn't fight it because I was speeding. But yeah, it was just one of those things where I was like, it's the first nice day. I'm sorry I had my music up. I was just rocking out. There was no cars. Like I didn't realize, like I sped up to get around a truck. And I just never slowed down. So so yeah, I don't like speeding tickets. But I also like I can see their value to a point. But like something like this, I
but I
mean,
mean, it's just when they're just like in her case, they're just looking for someone to give a ticket to. And it's so like in my town, they typically don't give like traffic tickets. If you're in the city limits, they just give you a city ordinance ticket.
mhm.
Um, which is actually a little bit more expensive, but it doesn't go on your driving record.
Oh, that's nice.
So it technically saves you a lot of money for your
Yeah.
driving
I
record.
was gonna say the driving record freaks me out because I did have I had a speeding ticket, and then I had an accident because we were turning and she slammed on her brakes. Um and so I very lightly dinged her, but it was my fault, so I got a ticket. And then I was like, and they were both within the same year, and you can only have 3 moving violations within a year, and they take your license. And it doesn't matter that you have a perfect driving record up to that point. I was like, I can't lose my license. I literally have to drive so much.
Yeah.
So I would have much rather gotten the city
Yeah,
ordinance.
that's what they do here in town. And, it gives them a little bit more money off of the ticket and
Yeah,
keeps you from it being on your driving record. And I'm kind of glad
yeah.
about that because I've gotten a city ordinance ticket here for speeding, which
How
was good
much?
because I had recently gotten a speeding ticket on the interstate through the state police for going. It was like the speed limit, I think, was 70, and I was going. He said I was going, I think, 90.
My car,
But
my car
my
gets.
cruise control said I was going, I think, 76 is what I had it set to, and he claimed I was going like 90, and I was like, my
You're
cruise
like, well,
control
well,
says
that's the car's fault.
yeah, I
And
don't
it sucks too
go
because
that
you're like,
fast.
you're
He
like,
was a prick. He was like a total jerk. Like I was crying. It was the day I found out I was pregnant with Sagan,
oh,
and I was running late to pick up Lillian from school. So I know that I was speeding, but my cruise control didn't say I was going 20 miles over the speed limit. So like, and I know it wouldn't have been off by like 15 miles per
yeah.
hour or like
And
that's
you can't like argue with them either. Like, because then it's just, oh, you're being hostile and you're being this.
right.
You're like, and then if you admit it, you're like,
But at the time, whenever he was giving me the ticket, like I didn't even comprehend what he was saying because I just found out I was pregnant.
yeah,
I had a horrible day. I was running late to pick up my daughter from school, and I'm just like, whatever. But as he walked up, he looked at my tent, and my tent wasn't legal. And I'm thinking, oh, he's gonna make me rip my tent off. I know he's gonna make me
oh,
rip my tent off. Like he was a total jerk to me though. Like he walked up, he's like, "Ma'am, technically I could take you to jail for the speed that you're going." And I was like, "Is I
I
really
don't
going that
like it.
fast?"
I've had cops like be mean to me like that too, and you're like, okay, or you could just like be chill because I haven't done anything mean to you.
Right. And he's like, "And you're not gonna cry your way out of this." I'm like, "I was already crying. This has
Yeah,
nothing to do with this. You're gonna give
you're
me a
like, this is
ticket for me to give me
unrelated.
my ticket because I'm running late to pick up my daughter from school. That's why I'm speeding." But I
Yeah,
didn't even comprehend like how fast he said I was going until after I'd like gotten home, and I was like, I called to find out exactly how much my ticket was gonna be, and it was like $300 and something dollars. I'm like, what the? She's like, well, technically you were going like 20 miles over the speed limit. And I'm like, what? No, no, that's not right. Like my cruise control's on 70 something. So I think his
yeah.
thing was fucked up.
Or he just was counting on you not arguing with him if he came over hostile in the first place.
I don't know, I was just like, whatever, I'll just fucking pay it and be done with this bullshit.
I
But
know it's
my
so much
insurance go
easier.
up because
My my
higher level, so it really made my insurance go up.
my second ticket, it was like really annoying because I kept getting flyers to go to traffic school, but I knew I didn't qualify for traffic school. So I'm like, why do they keep sending me these things? Like, because they're coming like from the police. That's like, oh, you can get this off your record if you go to traffic school. And I'm like, I can't. I already called and I asked, and they told me I don't qualify because of like the type of violation it was. And I was like, that's not fair. Like, I don't want this on my record. So I'm just like waiting the 3 years for them to fall off because they take like forever to fall off.
Yeah, mine finally fell off, thankfully.
Yeah.
But I guess that's it for tonight.
Yeah.
We don't really have, we're just rambling. We don't really have anything specific to talk about.
There wasn't even anything cool that happened this week. Like the most exciting thing, like the only 2 articles that stuck out were that pregnant woman and the pit maneuver. Like, and I've been miserable all week. So like other than that, like there's nothing.
Yeah.
So hopefully there's better news next week.
Recording in progress. What are we talking about? I don't know what to talk about.
You saved ready?
I was trying to pick one that makes me look less vampiric.
Honestly, just roll with it. There's no use in fighting it at this point.
Yeah.
Just